And the reality is that we should not be looking at replacing the real estate agent. We should be looking at making the real estate agent more efficient.
And better.
Better, right?
So I'm here with Mauricio Umansky. As someone that invests a lot in technology for the real estate industry, it almost feels like the existing infrastructure of residential real estate brokerage is stuck in the past.
It's archaic.
Exactly. There's an educational process, which is the business of buying and selling real estate has totally changed in the last 100 years. And it's like we need to evolve the industry, right?
In 1996, when I started in real estate, I was still receiving those phone books that I'm talking about. We were so late in getting the MLSs into the internet, into the World Wide Web. I mean, it didn't happen until probably 2000.
Yeah, and I imagine from your perspective, you've been at the front lines of, the real estate market. You're talking to agents, you're selling homes, you're living and breathing this. Is part of what has happened that the associations, the MLSs, this old infrastructure is just out of touch with the day-to-day dynamics of buying and selling real estate?
I feel personally that, again, it has just become too bureaucratic, and that's where it's out of touch, because the leaders in the associations, they're in the business, okay? Like, they are in the business. So to say that they're completely out of touch, I don't think that would be a fair thing to say. But I do believe that there's just too much bureaucracy to allow things to move. You have boards of thousands of people, right? These things, they just don't allow you to move, right? Like, sometimes you just need to be able to make decisions, and you need to be able to make them in the benefit in the real estate agents, okay? The reality is, at this point, I think winning is improving the industry. Right now, we're dealing with a lot of bad news with lawsuits against the national associations, lawsuits against all of the MLSs, lawsuits against all the brokerages around the country. So, winning looks like improving the industry, setting us up so that we actually have free competition. Right now, there's one association, there's not multiple associations, so there's nobody that's, saying, hey, like, you're not doing everything great, like, here's how this has to happen, right? The MLSs are regionally controlled. There's one MLS for each region. There's nobody competing against these people. There's no competition, right? And so from our perspective, what I believe and what the United States of America is built on is free competition. We announced that AREA USA, which is the American Real Estate Association, which is basically launching an association for real estate and going, after, the largest association in the country with 1.5 million members to it. So it's exciting stuff. Together with that, we announced the NLS.com, which is a national listing service. We're really just, out here and, trying to have some fun with associations, NLSs, creating a bunch of havoc, having a bunch of fun.
How do you think the real estate industry changes as a function of technology over the next 5 years? What does it look like to buy and sell a house? And how does technology impact that 5 years out?
There's so many opportunities right now to do that. I think that, AI is a critical piece, but I think, again, AI to make the agents more efficient, to make us better, not necessarily to replace us, right? I would love to see some sort of a database that's like a Carfax type of thing on homes, right? From an inspection perspective, like really know what you're buying. Has the air conditioning been changed? Has there ever been leaks in the house? If there were leaks, how was it fixed? Who repaired it? What does that look like? Are there warranties? That will protect the consumer, right? There's a lot of education even to the consumers. There's a company right now, Presidio, that just started, that was built by some of the guys that started DocuSign. That's a vault on creating and teaching consumers on how to make sure that their estate is properly taken care of, so that if there's a passing or a death in the family, your home, your most important asset, doesn't go to probate. Because the amount of probate that's happened in these countries is ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And the consumers that are buying these houses don't even have a clue, and they leave their kids with a problem, and that should never happen, right? So I think there's tremendous opportunities for advancement in technology all the way around.
Tell me about the show you got.
Oh man, it's been so much fun, Brendan. I feel so lucky. Buying Beverly Hills, it's on Netflix. It's about the agency and it's about the ins and outs of real estate. Buying and selling beautiful, I call it real estate porn.
It's on the label, it's Buying Beverly Hills.
It's Buying Beverly Hills.
Right.
And we get into the ins and outs of some of the transactions, which is really cool. I'm lucky enough to do it with my daughters. So I have, on season 1, we have me and Farah and Alexia working, and then a bunch of other real estate agents, at the agency. We just finished filming season 2. We've got 10 episodes being released in March on Netflix for season 2, and I can't wait for everybody to tune in to watch it.
I got to check it out. And I'm curious, just as you think about the next 5 years for the agency, obviously this incredibly fast-growing business, What do you see in the next 5 years?
Look, the agency is basically what I see as a continued growth of a network. It's meant to be a global real estate boutique, delivering, white glove service and having some of the best real estate advisors. Like I always talk to all of our real estate agents and I go, you guys are not agents, you guys are advisors. You are consultants to the consumer, okay? And you have a duty to them. Like that to me is the most important thing. So the agency, I'd like to see it just continue to grow around the world to be a global real estate boutique. I'd like to see a global real estate broker delivering the best service to all consumers.
Do you think being this very visible figure to so many agents just puts you in a very unique, advantageous position to launch something new and different and better and technology forward like you have?
100%, and I can tell you, Brendan, that one of the reasons I'm doing this is that as the frustration was brewing in the industry, I kept receiving calls from different people saying, Mauricio, you've been advocating against with your frustrations about what's going on, and eventually it's like, once you've received, your 100th call, your 100th email, you're like, okay, like I got to start paying attention to this. And I got lucky to, meet Jason Haber, who also started kind of at the same time here in New York, which actually is quite kind of nice because he's here in New York, I'm in Los Angeles, so we've got like the two coasts absolutely covered. We felt like we had a good synergies. I really like him, and here we go.
Love that. Well, Mauricio, it's always awesome to hear your perspective. I was thrilled to talk to you about it, and best of luck with building it.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.